Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kristen Grippe, and I am the committee chair for the Diplomate Fellowship Task Force. Joining me today are Jessica Travis and Rachel Deets. Jess, would you tell us what your role was in the project?
Sure. My name is Jessica Travis, and I am a project manager with Vivayic. It is a learning company that partnered with SDPA to do the redesign of the Diplomate program. My role as the project manager was to coordinate with the project team to ensure that our deliverables met the timeline and to coordinate with the subject matter experts in order to receive feedback on the different deliverables and just basically keep the project moving forward.
Excellent. And Rachel, what was your role?
Yeah, so I'm Rachel Deets. I'm one of the subject matter experts from the SDPA. I'm an SDPA member for many years, and at this time I chose to become more involved and engaged in the SDPA, and one of those involvements was to become the subject matter expert for the Diplomate program, where we really took all of the information from the Diplomate program and kind of elevated that information. We wanted to help provide more resources, more reputable resources for the Diplomate program, and bring that program in a more modern way to the learners in order to help with educating our learners.
Sure. Well, thank you both for being here with us today. What we'd like to do is really just talk about the original Diplomate Fellowship and what we've done to elevate it to a whole new level for our members at this time. So I can speak a little bit about what the Diplomate Fellowship started as. So it was first released back in 2017, which doesn't sound like a long time ago, but with the constant evolution of medical information and updates, the SDPA realized a few years back that it was time to take another look at the content. During that time, we also went through COVID. And so with a lot of online education kind of flourishing because of the need to move things online, the SDPA really recognized with that new technology that we could really take the first Diplomate Fellowship and change it into a new format. The original version certainly had some limitations and some frustrations. And so primarily, I think that those of us who have done the program recognized that it's not always fun to sit and just listen to an author kind of just talk on and not have as much interaction. And so I think that when we partnered with Vivayic, you really brought forth an excellent opportunity to add a lot of interaction and value to the learner. Can you describe some examples of some of those interactions that our members will see with the new version?
Oh yeah, these are actually some of my favorite projects to work on because it is so fun to see that before and after and bring all of this content to life in an interactive way. And that's really what we did. We have a team of learning designers, learning developers, learning analysts, and they really spend time understanding the content up front to make sure that as we are redesigning the modules in the new software, the design that they come up with is suitable for adult learners. It works well for the audience. It's written in a way that is professional for the audience up to those standards. And so a lot of the interactions are things that you can click on, you can listen to them, you can read them. The videos will have transcripts, you can read or listen, you can adjust playback speed, there's closed captions, so it is very accessible. The content is chunked into sections, so if you don't have 4 straight hours to sit down and learn, you can do section by section, you can stop, come back later, pick up where you left off, and it's designed in a format that is responsive on a mobile device. So it would work on an iPad tablet, it would work on a desktop, laptop, a phone. While not ideal, it can be done. So it's portable, it's flexible, and there are all kinds of real world scenarios in these modules now that we've taken the content and written stories of a provider working with a patient to come up with a diagnosis. So there's like practical activities in these modules that allows the learner to practice on the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's also a really great outline in each module that summarizes the different topics within the modules so that if you were to download this document and kind of set it aside and you're like, oh, I want to come back and look at this later, you could skim that and be like, oh, that's where that topic is. The modules also have a search function, so you can type in a keyword and it will pop up the entire module wherever that word appears. You can easily find what you're looking for so that it is truly an on-the-job tool.
Excellent. I mean, all of those aspects are things that will make the going through the modules so much easier.
I think this is going to be really applicable for a lot of PAs at this point. It's going to be great for our new PAs coming in because they're going to have this baseline of broad dermatology, kind of the scaffolding to build from. I think that's going to be amazing for them to just have those files and able to kind of put their own patients in those files as they're learning, as they're kind of getting their on-the-job training. This is a great foundation for those new learners. But I also think it's going to transition to some of us that are more advanced in our practice because we can go back, we can cross-check the information, we can continue with our CMEs because there'll be CME credits associated with the Diplomate program still. And I think this is a great way for us to kind of bolster our knowledge. As well as like in my practice, I precept. So this is a great tool for precepting. I think this is going to be a great resource for us to use in order to go back, find information, but also to kind of help keep teaching and educate our peers.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you haven't had a chance to check out all of the modules, the differences between the first version and the second version are amazing. Rachel, can you talk through all of the work and all of the steps that went into creating each module?
Absolutely. So we worked really closely with Vivayic to go through and fine-tooth comb all of the modules, all of the information. Basically, there were 4 stages. There was a blueprint stage, an alpha, beta, and a final stage. The blueprint stage is where we went back to the original Diplomate. Every single module, we took it word by word and put it into a different program. And we went through and we modified what the content that we felt the content needed to be moved. If we needed to move it to a different module or if we needed to update that information, we went to other reputable resources. We found other papers. And we really made that content more up to date, you know, finding more medications that are FDA approved and filling in those gaps of learning.
Sure.
And then when we went to the alpha, beta, and final phases, this was where we really used a lot of your resources. And your team was amazing at finding all of these creative ways to present the information. And we went through line by line to make sure everything made sense and the information was up to date. I feel
Many
like
people involved with proofreading and adding invaluable comments and suggestions.
We did
have a lot of man hours went into every single stage of every single module.
It did.
Yeah. We had a whole team of subject matter experts in addition to our group here that contributed to those reviews, which I think was really important for enhancing the quality control and just getting different perspectives about the information, as well as the time that we spent cross-referencing all of the original content to the Bologna textbook to make sure that everything matched. And if there was an assessment question, can the information be found within the module? That was also really important to make sure that we were assessing the learner on what we were actually teaching. So it was all very relevant.
And I thought it was interesting that like your background in education really came through on this as well, because I know the content as a provider, but you know the content as an educator as well. And so it was really interesting to have those different points of views and how we can present this information to all of the dermatology PAs and really elevate their educational experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you were touching a little bit before on why this program is a great choice for PAs new to dermatology. Let's also, though, talk about the more advanced or seasoned DermPAs and why they should consider participating in the Diplomate Fellowship program, even if they've already done the first version.
Sure.
So why do you think that it's important for those seasoned PAs to jump in and do some of these modules?
Sure. I mean, this is a great refresher. This is an amazing course that really brings in a lot of data and information from many resources. You know, instead of going here to kind of find this information, it's all compiled very easily in one module for you. You know, we've really taken the time to have the outlines, have the search tool, have the key takeaways after each section to where you can learn from this module and you can really apply that information to your practice in a very easy, well thought out manner.
Sure. I also think that for the topics that you feel confident in and that you may not need a refresher, fine, you don't have to do those modules. But there are plenty of modules that talk about the basics, and then there are even more modules that really get into those more rare skin diseases. And so for those that you might not see as often, sure, go ahead and just do one module, do 2 modules, whatever you think fits mostly into your time and into what you need those refreshers about. So there's something for everybody.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that as well, because we really tried to take a lot of photographs and pictures from different skin types. We really made that one of our top priorities. So as you're going through some of these more rare dermatoses and different diagnoses, you can pull in the information from these rare cases, and it will be something that you can use as kind of a backup to your own practice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I think that one of the most important things that the Diplomate Fellowship Program can do is to offer the best and most comprehensive training tool for DermPAs. We know that someone who is entering the dermatology profession as a PA, they might need a lot more intense training. And so before the Diplomate Fellowship Program, the big question was, where do I go for that training? I am working with a physician that may not have the time to give me good in-depth training. And so I think that this program is really the pinnacle program available to offer that comprehensive training, and that our dermatologist partners are going to love this program for what it offers for their new PAs. So I will definitely recommend the program, again, for both new and seasoned PAs in order to fill the knowledge gaps, to provide the basis of information, but and again, even for something as basic as just needing CME credits.
Sure.
And so whatever you feel this program works best for you for, all of those things are things that this program can fill.
Absolutely. And as other PAs kind of try to get into dermatology and come into this space, I feel like this is an amazing resource for them as well, to kind of get that kind of feel for dermatology, learn on their own time, see if this is a good fit. It can really bolster their practice as well. You know, how many times are we sidelined by a family med PA or an emergency PA or, you know, a family med doc? And, you know, I really feel like this program would be great education. Some of the modules possibly from maybe like the rashes or common things, acne, where we could say, hey, you know, maybe you could purchase this module or look at this section, and it would really bolster their practice as well.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So I think that overall, we have loved working with Vivayic. Your team has been just absolutely incredible with taking a product that we had and bringing it to a whole new level. Jess, do you have any final comments about your experience working with the SDPA, the subject matter experts, or about the final product that you created?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're looking for a program that has been well peer reviewed, well vetted, high quality information, this is it. It is highly engaging, highly interactive. There's a variety of different types of ways to click to learn the information, galleries of images of all sorts of different visuals. There's a lot of data and charts and information. There's, flip cards and hotspots with pop-up information. So it's a really fun way to learn. It's professionally narrated by a professional voice talent. So that's a bonus when you're sitting and listening. And I would just say, you know, if you're looking for a way to learn this information that's flexible, that applies to what you're doing, this program is where it's at.
Absolutely. And interesting information.
Yes.
Well, thank you both for being here today to talk about the Diplomate Fellowship's newly launched revised program, what I lovingly call 2.0. Thank you all for watching today, and I hope you all get a chance to check out the new program.